Yo, what's up everyone? Today we are talking about the fact that Shavkat Rakhmanov is out of the UFC rankings. Whether this is fair, whether this is unfair, what is next for him, what is next for the division. The $1,000,000 question is this fair? Does this make sense? If I have to speak from my heart, I would say no. Because this guy is a good fighter, one of the best at welterweight, 7-0, undefeated overall, almost finished all of his opponents. Only decision came in his fight against Ian Garry, who now we can look at and be honest with is very, very good, right? But it's not about how good you are. If you haven't fought for a long time, which Shavkat hasn't, then you should be getting taken out of the rankings at some point. But should this be the case for Shavkat? So his last fight was against Ian Garry, 2024, December 7th. Over a year ago, a year and 2 months ago, let's say. Since then, he did have a scheduled fight against Belal Muhammad in May. He had to pull out due to injury, an injury sustained a long time ago, an injury that's coming back. He's had a lot of surgery on it, but it's just an injury that comes back, that just happens with the ACL, MCL, and whatever CLs there are. It's a very gnarly injury, right? So he's had a lot of problems with it. It's not that he's not trying to fight or whatever. It's just what it is. His body just can't handle it. The knees can't handle it. It's very unfortunate. Now you might say to yourself, oh, but he hasn't fought the entirety of 2025. And it's basically like, it feels like it's been 2 years, because 2024 and then 2026, if he even comes back this year, right? So the thing is, there are two guys that haven't fought in about the same period. One of them being Movsar Evloev. This guy fought on the same card as Shavkat. He's also not fought in 2025. He's also had to pull out of another fight against Aaron Pico in August. So he hasn't fought the same amount of time. But he is not out of the rankings. He is still in the top 5. While Shavkat has been pulled out of the rankings. Does this make sense? Not at all. They have the same record, by the way. I think both of them are 19-0. And it's not like Shavkat is just this guy that nobody really likes. He's not entertaining, this and that. Shavkat is miles more entertaining than Evloev. They're also the same age, by the way. Both are 31 years of age. I would say Shavkat's even younger. So it doesn't really make sense. Why is Shavkat the one that's being put out of the rankings? Well, there's someone that's literally had the same thing happen to him. He fought on the same card. He fought on his undercard even. And he is not out of the rankings. Another guy, another example of this. And in my opinion, this is a much worse example, is Colby Covington. How is this guy ranked and is Shavkat not? And the crazy thing is, because Shavkat's out of the rankings, most of the guys are bumped up one spot, including this guy. So this guy is like ranked at 13 now, even though he has not fought since a week after, and he got like beat brutally. This guy, 2-fight losing streak. Before that, only one against Masvidal, and between his fight from Masvidal to Edwards was almost 2 years. So it's not like this guy was active before, he just can't. And the crazy thing is, he doesn't even seem to want to fight. He's wrestling, he's doing poker, he's doing streaming, and he's just calling out Woodley and Masvidal and all this weird stuff. Like, he's not really focused on fighting, it seems. And this guy is not out of the rankings, even though he's irrelevant. And then Shavkat is out of the rankings. It does not make sense to me at all. So these two guys that should be treated the same are not out of the rankings, even though Shavkat, in my opinion, is much more relevant than both of those guys, right? But let's look at the facts right here with Evloev. He at least has a fight booked in March, so it kind of makes sense. With Shavkat, we know that he will be out till potentially 2027, so it kind of makes sense, maybe because he's been out of the rankings for 1 day now. And we've heard the news that he is injured and might not be coming back until 2027. So maybe the people were looking at, okay, this guy won't be fighting for about a year. We might as well just take him out of the rankings. Kind of makes sense. But what does Colby Covington do or show you guys that you're like, okay, this guy might fight again, bro? This guy might fight again. This guy doesn't want to fight again, and he's in the rankings. Shavkat does want to fight again, but he can't. His body won't let him, and you're putting him out of the rankings. It makes no sense at all. And honestly, the fact that Yevloev has a fight should not be as relevant, because for all we know, he'll pull out again. He has not fought, so it doesn't matter, in my opinion at least. It's weird. And you know what gets me as well? Like, okay, now you don't put Colby and Yevloev out of the rankings. I don't want you guys to put Yevloev out of the rankings because he's actually irrelevant to the division. Colby Covington, nobody cares if he's ranked or not. If he comes back against some like old ass fighter, washed fighter like he is. So it's not going to be anything in the rankings. He's not becoming a champion or whatever. So I would like this guy out of the rankings. With Yevloev, he's relevant to the division. He's top 5. He might be next for the title. Anyway, let's talk about the fight that injured him, right? Is this one. Shavkat versus Ian Garry. Shavkat won this fight, of course. He came into the fight with the injury. That's what he said after. That's why he wasn't able to compete as well as he normally does. That's why he wasn't able to get the finish as he normally does, right? That's only fight in his career that went to the decision. Now I don't know if he would have finished Ian if he was at 100%, because Ian, he showed us that he's very good. He beat Prates and Bilal Muhammad after this loss, and he's talking about, I'm going out there like, that was so bad. But he's just saying that he beats everyone, that he deserves to fight for the title next. He's very good, right? Ian Garry is very good. But this fake nice guy persona of his, it annoys me so much. It annoys me so much, bro. It annoys me so much. Look at this. He is acting like he is the one that eliminated Shavkat, bro. He's putting this on his story. Look at this. He's putting this on his story. Ian destroyed Shavkat's career, like with those kicks to the knees, like these oblique kicks. And he's saying Shavkat was eliminated at our title eliminator. Like, bro, what? He's been dealing with these injuries long before you, and he came into the fight with those injuries. And even if you are the one that did this, right? Even if you are the one that ruined his career, why are you boasting with this, bro? I thought you were a nice guy. You're boasting with ruining someone's career? Like, okay, everyone wants to knock each other out, right? And most of the guys are real with it. They're like, I don't like this guy. I want to do this to this guy. I want to do that to this guy, and this and that and whatever. I want him to hurt. But that's not the persona that Ian Garry wants to show people, right? He's this nice guy, like, I want to be friends with everyone. I want to make money with everyone. I don't have a problem with anyone. And then he posts this type of stuff. Does it make sense? No, it does not make sense. I feel like the fake nice guy persona is over. Everyone knows at this point. Khamzat knows. A lot of these people know. And I feel like a lot of people were on his side when the Khamzat story just happened, when there was only one side of the story. But when the full video came out, then we understood, like, okay, we kind of know Ian Garry did that to try and make something happen there. That's exactly what it was. Ian Garry, bro, you are a fake nice guy. That's just what it is. Why are you boasting, talking about, I eliminated him, I cooked his career, look at it, I destroyed his knees? That's not something to be boasting about. For example, Robert Whittaker, right? Like with the Darren Till situation where he fucked up his knee, he was like, I'm gonna do that more often then. But he wasn't like, I destroyed his career, bro. This is what I do, bro. I'm the best in the world. He's like, I'm gonna do it more often because it apparently did some damage to him, right? It's different. And it's not like Robert has this fake nice guy persona, because he's just who he is. he's not trying to act like something. He's just what he is. He is nice, but he's cold-blooded. Ian Garry is a fake nice guy. There is a difference. There is a big difference. Now, what's next for Ian or for Shavkat? I don't care what's next for Ian. Shavkat is probably out until 2027. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, now this is the biggest what if since Zabit, bigger what if since Zabit, in my opinion, or the bigger one than Zabit if he doesn't continue his career." I don't know. I feel like he will, because he's only 31 years of age. He has a lot of time to go. 19-0. He will try and do everything to get this done, right? Zabit didn't want to fight. That was it. He didn't want to fight. There were no crazy injuries or whatever. He just did not want to fight. Whereas Shavkat, he wants to fight. He can fight even with injuries. So I do expect him to come back in 2027 or maybe late 2026. Now, who would you put him up against? Because at this point, you can't give him the title shot, even though, in my opinion, after Garry fight, he did deserve it. But because he won't fight for such a long time, you cannot just put him in there, right? You can put him against a lot of guys. Honestly, let's look at the rankings. UFC rankings. I think if we look at the rankings right now, JDM will probably have someone else. Ian Garry, he already beat Garry, so that won't make too much sense. I mean, in a year's time, you don't know how the division will progress, but I would say just give him someone like Michael Morales, Carlos Prates. JDM could be the one in a year's time. Sean Brady. I mean, honestly, you can just give him whatever, because this is now speculation, because you don't really know what happens in a year's time. But give him someone that gets him right to the title. That's what it is. He just has to show and prove to us that he's back, that he's at 100%, that he is the level that he was before he had to pull out of all of these fights. And once he shows this, he can get the title shot, in my opinion. 19-0, only one decision in his career, cooking everyone. His last one, Ian Garry, which has aged extremely well. He was number 2 before he was pulled out of the rankings. Now Ian Garry's at number 2. This guy is generational talent. I really do hope that he comes back. I really do. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.